Hi, and welcome to this webinar of the 9 things you should know before buying into any franchise. Um, I hope you find this valuable. My name's Andy Gwynn. You will have met me or some of our team, or we've come across each other somewhere. Mary and I live and work together. Kat is our associate and our marketing specialist who helps me with webinars. Our background is one of business coaching. My biggest frustration and challenge in life is that a lot of people go into business because they're good at what they do, and then they realize they struggle to market and sell that. My background is one of marketing and sales and business coaching. I've coached hundreds of businesses and marketing teams and sales teams to generate more sales. And that's why we franchised our LinkedIn training and coaching business. But I'm sending this to you because you're looking at franchises generally. And whether it's franchises or whether it's growing your own business, these tips hopefully will help you, especially when looking at franchises, because there's a lot of franchises out there. And like any organization or anything, I think there's obviously good ones and there's ones that are not so good. So I want to quickly run through in the next 15-20 minutes or so some things you should know and you should consider before buying into any franchise. Some of these may be obvious, but you can obviously keep this recording, you can keep this PowerPoint, and I'm just going to sort of run through it. Number one is there a high demand for what you're going to be selling? It might sound obvious, but is there a high demand in the market for the product and service? We're selling a franchise for people to become LinkedIn trainers and coaches because there is such phenomenal demand for people out there to understand how to use LinkedIn to generate business. People know they have a need, and it's global, and it isn't just the 20 million LinkedIn users in the UK. It's a global business with over 400 million. But even people without LinkedIn profiles know that they ought to be there and be on it. So there's a massive demand for my franchisees as LinkedIn trainers to be able to sell their product and service. I talk to people who buy into things like I don't know, chimney sweep franchises. Nothing wrong with that. There is a demand, but is it a high demand? And is it a certain niche market? So think about who does the product help? Because it's not only just people with chimneys, if you're buying a chimney sweep franchise, but it's people who will see the value of getting it cleaned and will actually pay to do it, maybe rather than do it themselves. A bit like garden landscaping businesses. Is there a demand? Everyone's got a garden, or a lot of houses have a garden, but will everybody be in a position where they would pay to have it landscaped? Or do they see the value in that, or would they do it themselves? So what sort of market? Who does it help? How easy are they to reach? How are you going to find them? Where are you going to market to get them? And what problem does it solve? Because I pay to have my garden landscaped and done. What's the problem it solves? It saves me time. So it makes it easy. I'm not practical. I love doing other things. So it isn't about just having a nice garden. It's about saving me time. And that's around marketing psychology as well. So check out the demand and also check out the competition. And this again is all around marketing. How much competition do you have? Where are they? How will you stand out against them? Now, there are other people selling LinkedIn training and consultancy and social media training. Not many people selling LinkedIn coaching, because my background is from a business coaching arena, and so I can train my franchisees to be great coaches. Also from a business development point of view, business coaching point of view, helping people having grown businesses, we come at LinkedIn training from a different angle than a lot of people that might just show you how to push buttons. So my franchisees know they can stand out from the crowd. What tools will you get to do this? We train our franchisees in marketing and sales and our ongoing coaching and training support literally weekly and monthly and quarterly. So what tools will you get from the franchisor? What do you get as part of the franchise that will help you with this? How will you be positioned in the marketplace? Again, there's if you go to the franchise show or you've been there, you will see that there's certain industries like estate agency and property and letting agency where there's a lot of franchises. There's obviously a lot of fast food, sandwiches, burgers, franchises. So how will you be positioned in the market? What are your USPs? That means unique selling points. Because it isn't, you can have a product or service that's got massive demand, but if there's massive competition, might not be as easy as selling in an area where there's not as much demand, for example. Are the USPs strong enough? I've coached coaches all around the world. Many of my partners, founder president of the Professional Speakers Association. My franchisees' USPs around being world-class trainers, coaches, and speakers is strong in the marketplace. It is unique. It is a unique selling point, as far as I'm aware. Next is the action you need to take. It's known as due diligence. You need to do as much research and due diligence as you can on the franchise you're looking to buy, because most franchises are 5 or 7 year franchise deals. Mine's actually 3. We've done that for a bunch of reasons. But you're going to commit to going into business and having a relationship with a franchisor and going into business for yourself with financial commitments and a time commitment. So you need to do lots of due diligence. Ask the franchisor to see testimonials from existing customers of the business. I'd go a step further. Ask franchisees how they stand out in the market and position themselves differently. Ask to speak to existing franchisees. Part of the reason we franchised our business is we've also got a lot of experience in franchising. We have been franchisees within 2 other businesses. When I started my self-employment, my own business, I spoke to franchisees in the business I was going to buy into. And I spoke to 2 or 3 that were struggling and 2 or 3 that were successful. And it was clear to me why those were struggling and why those were successful, really in their attitude. I always say to my prospective franchisees, I'm not going to talk to my existing franchisees about you. I go talk to them, but I'm interested then in the opinion you form. So also, see if you can see testimonials of the end user clients, i.e. your franchisees' clients. What results are the franchisees getting with their clients? Might not be so easy if you're looking to sell burgers, but obviously if you're looking to sell landscaping gardens, I want to know how good the franchisees are delivering on. We've got some phenomenal testimonials of results that all sorts of people have had by being trained and coached by our LinkedIn trainers, franchisees. So go take the action on who you need to speak with. This might sound obvious. The franchise you're looking at has got to be profitable, or the franchise model that you're buying into. It sounds obvious, but take an in-depth look at the model. Does the profitability match what you want to earn from the business? You've got to take into account costs of running the business. It could be the license fee. It will be the license fee. There will always be a monthly license fee. But what are the costs of running the business? I was in a very high-end white-collar franchise where we were advised, and we did, budget for a couple of £1,000 a month's worth of marketing back then. It may be that you've got to have vehicles, you've got to have equipment, you've got to have office premises. Again, the nice thing, and part of the reason we franchise our LinkedIn training and coaching business, is because there's none of that. Most of the marketing we teach you that you can do is very, very low cost. It's an investment of your time and your knowledge. And other than a laptop and the internet, there's very little other operating costs within the business other than the monthly franchise fee. So have a look at the model, and obviously have a look at what other franchisees are making. Getting and keeping customers. This is a fundamental business skill, and obviously relevant to whether you go into business for yourself or whether you go into business by buying into a franchise. It is the lifeblood of any business. And you really want to be asking your franchisor what support they give you for this. It says here, it's the most important thing you can do in your working day and where the majority of your time should be spent. People buy into a business to deliver the products. They want to cut the lawn or sell the burgers. The reality is you've got to sell and market. There is 1 or 2 franchises out there that provide you all the sales, not just leads, not just inquiries, but they convert the sales for you and give you the work. Really, you're buying into that franchise just to be to have a business to run an operational business. Most franchises, like setting up business for yourself, you've got to be responsible to generating your own leads and sales. You will get various different levels of help from your franchisor, but fundamentally, and I've coached a lot of franchisees in other businesses over the years, who when they've come to me or I've met them, they've said, we bought a great product, we bought a great service, or we bought into the passion and the values of the franchisor. We're just now struggling to market and generate inquiries, and or we're struggling to sell to our prospective customers once we've got those inquiries. Learning to market and sell is the lifeblood of any business. So what support is your franchisor giving you for that? You need to have the greatest degree of clarity of how you're going to get customers from day one in your new business. It's a great phrase to be focusing in on. What tools does the franchisor provide you to help you do this? I know we have an advantage because that is our background, is coaching business owners and sales teams to market and sell. So we cover a whole day on the upfront induction training on how to market and sell. We have weekly conference calls with our franchisees, helping them look at their marketing plans, their marketing strategies, their marketing activity, helping them. We run monthly training days where we bring everybody together and we cover sales strategies, sales techniques, and marketing strategies. Some franchisors offer a starter package, find out what's in it. We provide all our franchisees with 1,000 bits of email data right from day one, so they can start emailing a database to fill workshops and build a database in their business. So what is it that you get? We give our franchisees pop-up banners that are branded with yourself, so you can do your networking events and your exhibitions. You get your own branded business cards, your own branded email headers, your own web page on our website, so that you can drive people there and fill workshops and they can go online and book, so it's leveraged. So what sort of support, what sort of collateral is your franchisor giving you? And then what sort of ongoing support and training as well? So the action for this, I think I've covered this. Some pitfalls for new franchisees, and it's the same for people going into business for themselves for the first time. I've coached a lot of corporate execs that have set up on their own, and especially if you're perhaps buying into a home-based business, which Jazz is. You may be going into a business where you've got to get premises, but people can be world-class at getting ready. It's about taking action. Ask the franchisor what the most successful marketing strategies that are proving profitable are right now. I cover the 6 main marketing strategies that I built my LinkedIn coaching and training business on. And that's what we cover on induction training. And that's what we focus our franchisees on, helping them focus in on. There's lots and lots of other marketing strategies, and especially nowadays. I have a great mentor of mine who wrote a book with 83 marketing strategies. That was before social media existed. You could probably double or triple that with all the different social media strategies available. So if you're new into marketing, it can be confusing. So what support are you getting from your franchisor? It says set aside 80% of your time to get and keep customers, preserve and fight hard for this time. It's your only strategy for success. That is so true. People focus on getting customers. They don't necessarily focus on keeping them. But from day one, depending on your business, you're likely to have no customers. So you've got to focus all of your time on getting those. I've alluded to this as well already. Number 4 is training and support. It is a biggie. Look closely at the induction training that you're getting. What does it cover? What materials are made available post-induction? How can you access this material? What ongoing training is made available? I've touched on the sort of things that I've experienced in the past and that we offer our franchisees. How can you access this material? What ongoing training is made available? How regularly is it made available? What does this take from you? I've known franchisors charge for additional training. I advocate my franchisees, you're going to be in business for yourself. It's your business. But I would still advocate you go out there and learn about business externally, and what is the training and support that your franchisor provides for you. We have a weekly online conference call with all our franchisees. It's a webinar that's recorded, so they get to keep it. If they are unable to make the call, they're able to access it. We have a monthly physical training day. We bring everybody together and look at business development. We have weekly and fortnightly individual one-on-one coaching calls in the first 3 to 6 months, because I believe, well, every one of our franchisees has different goals. They come from different backgrounds. They've got different goals as to what they want to achieve. So it's about helping the individual achieve their life and business goals. How does the franchisor ensure that you are on track and supported to reach your big goals? There you go. Exactly that. Ask them these questions. So the action around that, the pitfall: protect your business and your sanity. Ask questions. There are no prizes for slog. I love this terminology. Speak with franchisees about their experience of headquarters. I've been in a franchise where franchisees set up a Facebook page just to moan about the franchisor. And we say to every one of our franchisees coming in, if ever you think you need to get to that level, we need you to talk to us first. Our business is all about helping our clients, i.e. our franchisees, succeed. We have a rule. Number one is open and honest communication. We're here to help. There's a lot of franchisors out there that I hear and not necessarily looking at their business in that way. So speak with the franchisees about their experience of head office. What's the startup support? What's the ongoing support, coaching and training? What's the innovation and ideas that might come down from headquarters or head office to you? And are they responsive to your needs? Franchising is unique. Most businesses spend their time and money looking after their best customers. In franchising, the franchisor's time and resources often spent trying to support the franchisees that might not be making it work so well. So it is, for us, it's a two-way thing. We want to recruit and attract the people that are likely, that it's going to suit, that it's going to make work for them. But it is also a two-way thing, and it's quite unique in that you're not a customer in the ideal sense, in the typical historic sense, because you are running your own business as well. So there's a unique dynamic between franchisee and franchisor compared to any other business owner and customer or client. So it's important you find out what you're going to get from your franchisor and how you feel about being able, how confident you feel about being able to work with them and get support from them. The maths, business is all about maths. Does it add up? Do you need stock, premises, staff? Can you grow without help? At what stage will you need help? What kind? How much is it likely to cost? Top tips: Fiverr, Elance, VAs, call answering. We are helping our franchisees build a business. It isn't just about having license to deliver a product. You're not just having license to make a Subway sandwich or license to fill cartridges in the same brand, ink cartridges. You're buying into growing a business. So part of our coaching and support is helping our franchisees understand how to grow a business. So if you and I want to speak, I will suggest you call my VA, my virtual assistant's office. She runs my diary. She can book a slot because we're all busy. We might end up playing phone tag. You want call answering. You don't want answering machines on your office number. People don't like leaving, prospective customers don't like leaving answer phone messages. So if you ring our office number, if we're on the line or we're out, it trips over to our remote answering service. They answer in our company name. They take a message. They then text and email us. Fiverr and Elance is great online resources for getting your marketing materials produced. So it's about leveraging out your time, because I will coach my business owner clients, not necessarily to employ people, but to outsource. There's a balance depending on where you're at. So you need to be able to take into account and have a budget around what is your expected overheads and costs of running your business in the first year, because it will change. You might have more marketing costs at the front end. You might not. You might further down the road need a bookkeeper, need marketing associates, need PAs, BAs, designers, social media consultants, whatever it might be. So are you budgeting in for those? I trust that makes sense. So the action, you've got to have your bills covered. This is an interesting one because I know some franchisors out there that do this well. And I will say to a prospective franchisee, I would be comfortable if you're confident that you've got 6 months of cash flow to not just run the business and pay the franchise fees and your marketing and business costs, but also to live and pay your lifestyle and your mortgage. I had a potential franchisee who said, I need to make X amount by the end of month 1, otherwise I'll not be able to pay my mortgage. And I took them away because there's no way I want somebody with that sort of pressure on their mind while trying to build a business. Speak with a good accountant. We have franchisees that are already running businesses and buying into ours alongside it. They already have their accountant. We have franchisees that are brand new into business, and we have a client who is an accountant, who's an expert at niches into startup businesses. You're not obliged to use him, but he's there if you haven't got one and you want to use him. And he's now the accountant of a few of our franchisees. You need experts. Here's a great saying: as a business owner, which as a franchisee you will become, you need to be a generalist and employ specialists. Yes, you probably need to be a specialist on how to deliver LinkedIn training or how to fill the ink cartridges, but you then need to employ other specialists like accountants and bookkeepers and IT consultants, etc. Ensure you factor in expenses and overheads into your forecast. We've mentioned that. Ask the franchisor how much the total investment of the franchise requires, not just upfront franchise fee or just for the first 3 or 6 months, because you've got a level of finance and money over the term of the franchise. How much will you need in operating capital? That's money to run your business. To live off, definitely, depends on the size of business you're buying, but to run the business, to do the marketing, make the sales, pay the bookkeepers, pay your staff if there's staff there. At what point could you be expected to break even? And it depends on the business. There's an old saying that I hear lots, and I don't actually like it. It says, expect to make a loss in your first year of business, expect to break even year 2 and make a profit year 3. I think it really, really, really depends on the business you're in. Because in our business, it's highly leveraged, it's internet-based, it's global, it's home office-based. Franchisees can be making a profit within year 1, certainly. So it really depends on the business. So don't necessarily buy in and take at face value what everybody out there might say to you. What are the ranges in financial performance of the existing franchisees? I've mentioned that. Don't stop this research until you're confident you know both high and low end. I've mentioned that. Pitfall cash flow. The only antidote to this is know your numbers. I do believe that numbers is the art of business, if you like, and so is cash flow. I know what I was going to say. I believe money buys me time. If you're starting a new business, then you need a certain amount of time based on your confidence and knowledge level to bring in new clients and cash flow. So how much time do you think you need? And therefore, how much money do you then need to be able to fund that time? And that's the way I've looked at some of the businesses I've gone into. Residual income is a beautiful thing. Residual income is, what is it? Residual income is money that keeps coming in regardless. So I'm a property investor as well. I get rent come in and I've got somebody managing the properties. It's residual. My franchisees pay me a franchise fee every month. That's residual. Now, I used to be in a business where we imported product and sold it wholesale. We had to keep making sales, but we would have customers that then kept repeat buying. So it could be different horses for courses. Why would you want it? Because it's a bit like pumping the water out of the well. You pump at the front end and you do a lot of work and effort to get the sales flowing, but then you might get repeat sales. Could you generate a residual income? Multiple streams of income? and aiding growth. So our franchise of LinkedIn trainers and coaches that are out there selling LinkedIn training to businesses and professionals, there's an argument to say they have to keep selling. Now, it's highly leveraged, especially if we're coaching people over the phone, over Skype and globally. So that means it's very good time for money. But also you get a big corporate contract and they will want repeat business and they will want business into other departments. Could you then build a business where you've generated the marketing and you just take on 2, 3, 4 other trainers to deliver on the work and you become the business owner? Yes, you can. So there's multiple models within our business model, as there will be within others. Multiple streams of income. Can you be selling other things? Our franchisees are then upselling sales training for some of them, business coaching or consultancy. We're basically in the marketing and sales and business consultancy business. So there's a lot of other revenue streams, income streams that they can generate. So what else could be done? And if that's part of your interest and part of what you want, with a fast food franchise that probably isn't, you might take on other shops. Would you invest in other businesses? I happen to have a number of franchisees who are also investing in property. That's because of my background and my network, and that's where I met them. So again, what's the parameters and the differences and the opportunities within the franchise? Skills match. It's a bit of a matrix you need to be drawing up to have all these questions written out. Have them all in a checklist for when you're talking to your potential franchisor. Define what your strengths are. I've had people who go, and I'm one of them, I don't like sitting down writing lots of email content for email marketing campaigns. Well, some of my franchisees, you've met Kat at the front of this presentation, pay her business to deliver on some of that and some of the social media work because it's not their strengths. My strength is I do a lot of professional speaking. We speak on stage at events. People come up to us and want to talk to us about how we can help them. So what's your current skill set? What will you do in your business? What might you leverage out? In other words, what won't you do? And get clear on it. Does this match the skills required of the franchisee or the franchise you're thinking of? So it really depends. If it's a one-man and a van franchise, you're probably going to be hands-on delivery. If you're buying a Subway franchise, you're probably employing a team to deliver. Maybe I've met the franchisee that's in there cutting the bread and serving the sandwiches. But if you're going to build a team like that, then your skills have to be about recruitment and management and team performance. DISC profiling on there. DISC is a behavioral profile tool. For years, we've been passionate about understanding how our clients behave and communicate, which is what DISC sort of identifies. And we profile all our franchisees because we can then show them and we can understand each other how we communicate and behave. But they can then also use that to understand how their clients might behave so they can sell better to them. And also to understand how their clients communicate and behave so they can coach and train them better. So is that something that the franchisor offers? Do they look at how you are best matched to the franchise, as well as just you being confident that your skills match? What are the skills you need to learn? I remember having a great debate with my first franchisor when I bought into a franchise. It was a business coaching franchise. I was just focused on, tell me that you're going to teach me how to coach better. I'm interested in coaching. And all he could say was, yes, 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 but you've got to be confident in selling and knocking doors and picking up the phone and making sales. And I was saying, yes, 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 I've been doing that for 25 years. I was a salesman, then a sales manager. Convince me you're going to teach me how to coach. Yeah, that's fine. Prove to me that you're confident and comfortable selling. So what was important to him as the skills match was different to me. And in reality, I got both. So what are the skills you need to learn? And are you open for learning and up for doing that? So don't fit your skills to a business that's not relevant. And the pitfall for most people is sales. I coach a lot of people in sales. It's about understanding the definition. A lot of people have a challenge with the word sales, let alone the perception of it. So you probably, depending on the franchise, got to learn to sell. I guess if you're running an cartridge ink filling shop, you might not have to sell much. Your marketing will bring people through the door. By the time they step through the door, they're already going to buy. So if you're not into sales, maybe that's the sort of franchise. If you're open for learning about sales, or you've got a sales background, or you enjoy business and marketing and sales, then a business to business rather than a business to consumer franchise might be right up your street. Sorry, that says vision. Vision, it's critically important. We put this at 8, it could almost be number 1. It's critically important you speak to the franchisor about their vision for the business. Does it align with yours? I love it when I get prospective franchisees ask me, so how many franchisees do you want? And what's your vision for the business? Because it's showing me that they're interested and caring about the bigger picture. And there are a lot of small, as is a small privately owned franchise. Obviously your big corporate ones like McDonald's, that you know probably where their vision is and what they're doing, in a sense. If it's a smaller privately owned one, what's the owner, what's the franchisor's plan? And is it aligned with yours? Do you have full confidence in the franchisor's ability to develop their business? Because I've known, again, some other white-collar franchises where a couple of years down the road, they've closed it, they've gone bust. The franchisor was great at what he did when he was the sales trainer, the consultant, the accountant, the HR consultant. Seems to happen in more white-collar franchises. But they've had to make a transition from being the HR consultant to being the franchisor. And they weren't able to do that successfully. So depending on the franchise you're looking at, might depend on how much you want to understand about that. Ask lots of questions about their vision, their plan for growth, how they're setting about it, etc. And number 9, the plan. I can't stress enough having a plan for everything. As a business coach, I've worked with clients and people about what is the plan. The analogy I use is you probably wouldn't get in your car and drive out of the drive without knowing where you're going. I occasionally do it on my motorbike because I just don't know which way I'm going to turn. I'm just out for the ride. But most of the time, you have a plan of exactly where you're going. Don't spend 3 days on a business plan that will sit on a shelf for the next 3 years. And part of what we do, and it's historic because we've done it with our business owner clients for 12 years, is every quarter we run a 90-day planning day. And we bring our franchise, part of the franchise deal, they come along. We set it out there to other clients, but our franchisees have access to it, where we just take a day and facilitate them putting together a succinct 90-day plan based on where they want their life and their business to be over the next year and beyond. Because people can work in 90-day chunks. If you're ex-corporate, you're probably used to working in quarterly, but it's about realigning the plan because obviously things change. And making it succinct and something that can be on their wall and they can use. Like it says, not a business plan that goes on a shelf. That's called shelf development. You want to be planning for how you'll get customers, where you'll find them, even down to their names. I'm big into the more specific you are, the more you will get the results you want. You need a plan for finances. Be realistic. I had a guy recently, he must have misunderstood me because I've got a model where I say people can make 5 to 10 grand per month, so 60 to 120 grand per year, part-time to full-time. And I said to him, how much do you want to be making by the end of year 1? He said, oh, $250,000 to $500,000. I said, where did you get that from? And he sort of misunderstood some of the conversation we had. So I was able to go back and realign because it wasn't realistic based on what I would be confident to help you with. I have to base this conservatively on the experiences of other people, but me and other franchisees. Plan how would this business fit into your life, travel, weekends, holiday space. I'm big into work-life balance. A lot of people I meet are looking to come out of corporate because they want a work-life balance. Again, the great thing with our business is it's 24/7. If you've got to deliver 24/7, but we're trading globally through LinkedIn, teaching people to use LinkedIn. I've just had an inquiry only today from someone in Cairo, someone else in the US. We've got a time difference, but you can do as much or as little as you want, and you can deliver it from anywhere in the world to anywhere in the world because we're doing it online. So what's your plan? Ask lots of great questions, involve your family members if it's important because you're going to commit to going into business for yourself over a time scale. Speak to as many franchisees as you can. Don't commit until you're totally sure. Go into it with eyes wide open. I hope that's given you some things that you can visit and you can use as a crib sheet and as a checklist. I just urge you to do as much due diligence as possible around those 9 points with the franchisors that you're talking to, because I've seen a lot of people stumble and fall over the years, not just into franchising, but setting up their own business. And I think with the right knowledge, it's unnecessary. So I hope that's of value. I wish you all the best in whatever you're looking at. If you think I can help you in any way just around chatting around what you're looking at for business, by all means contact us. Obviously, if our franchise model seems of interest and you think you're the right sort of person that it could fit with, then by all means contact us in that way. And I wish you all the best. Thanks very much for listening.